And good afternoon, everybody. This is Michael Filighera. I'm with logicalsignals.com and tradershelpingtraders.com. And this is the Elliott Wave update for the S&P 500 for Wednesday, July 28th, 2021. I don't have a lot to be adding except one thing that could become a little bit major. Yesterday, I had labeled this low as the possible completion point of minor 4. And I was very satisfied with that pretty much all through today until I stepped back and let me just pull this open and took a peek at that. That in no way, shape, or form is a bullish structure that even can be counted as a wave 1. I mean, I probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I probably could, but it's not a starting point. To me, it is very B wave. So I've stepped back and I'm now looking at this being wave A of minor 4, this being wave B of minor 4, and it formed a little bit of a triangle. And it's now coming out of the triangle, but it did it right at the close. So we don't have that active participation at the moment. So I think we're still going to get a C wave down. And here's where it portends to go. Minimum for 43.55. I think on the outside, 43.23. And if it all holds, it still fits in with the market turning and now going up. Now, granted, if we put this all together, they're just going to have to come in as buyers. Well, tomorrow we have Amazon reporting, and then that kind of completes at least the Titans in the NASDAQ, the Titan tech companies. It should complete that. Today we had Facebook stock traded higher all during the day, and then the earnings came out and they're liking it, they don't like it, they're not really sure. Kind of slid down to, I think, 357. That's after closing at 373, and now it's trading back at 360 to 361. So a little bit of a recovery, not much. Now, on the other hand, we also got PayPal. PayPal is down a solid $23 off of its closing high at just below 302. So PayPal, I guess, did not meet expectations. So again, what this essentially puts our markets into could be that little bit of a tailspin. Again, so much is going to depend on how all the rest of the world looks at our earnings. And they actually, like last night, they pretty much decided for us that we were going to start up today. That quickly vanished. We saw Apple higher. We saw Google much higher than it is. Facebook started to go up. Microsoft waffled between being up to being down. Right now, still sitting. So we've got to let earnings digest and see what people want to do or how they want to reposition themselves, if that's what's going to happen. So what I see for us in our indexes, particularly here in the S&P, we now must allow for a C wave down. And it's not moving very quickly, as I would expect. So this becomes a little bit more difficult in that even if I start taking this down, I'll go look at it on a 15-minute chart and open it up. It just kind of goes, that's still an A, a B, a C, D, E. So that's even with that break sudden and then the jumping back. And that was on the Fed news. Somebody hit that sell button, and I don't know if they suddenly realized that they hit it twice or 3 times and they were wrong, because this thing just stopped and just roared. Just somebody ever was hitting buy baskets, and it just rallied all the way back. So an anomaly could be. So on one hand, A, and then we get a B wave triangle. So that would be A, B, C, D, E, thrust. So that could complete that B wave up here, counting everything in between, And now we're doing a C wave down. So we get wave A, wave B, and now we get the C wave down to complete the minor four. That's what I'm kind of looking at. That's what I'm thinking is going on. So we still are in a position where I cannot call that this high up here, which is minor, is still in place, but I can't call it the top. So we don't have enough information, and obviously the market doesn't know yet either. So again, we have to let the market decide. The market's going to tell us. Right now, what I'm going to be looking for is for a continued drop, forming 5 waves down. That's going to be the key. All C waves, if indeed this is a C wave, are 5 waves down. And that measures by just doing, if this is wave A, and this is wave B, then this is what the C wave should look like, because the C wave is going to be related to the A wave. And more important is going to be let me just open this up again. Go out to the 4, come back down to the 1 hour. So we get a 5-wave structure down. And if it completes here, that's where wave C would be equal to wave A. That's pretty common. It's not that it's not that unusual. But then because it is coming out of a triangle, I would expect wave A to make a lower low, get below there, and that would complete, that would also fulfill it. And now we'll just count it, because if we can get down here, we can count 5. Oh, then we could say it's complete and then see what happens. So our first support really is 43.55. And I'm going to give it or take it a little bit, a little bit above, a little bit below, but definitely get below this 43.64.75. That I do believe needs to take place. Coming off, we will have support at 43.75, 43.70, the 200, moving the hourly 200 at 43.68. And then we have some additional just below that. And then we have the previous low at 43.60. I'm going to call it 65. And we're looking for it to come down to 55. That would be optimal. It can, of course, continue. But if it starts breaking below 43.23, then we're going to be looking at something different. This still, even if I open it up. All right, don't. Even if I open it up, come on. Oh, there. You can see it really is just an ABC. It's so incomplete. And this, of course, went way too high to be a 4. So we have to count this as an ABC A. And then this is all likely a B. And now we've got a C wave forming. Possibly. So I think that that's where I need to stay. And until the market tells me different, that's how I'm going to trade it. I'm going to have to trade as if we should head down. Again, we still have Asian markets, we have Globex, we have et cetera, so we have European markets. So much can take place. And what I really wouldn't like is kind of what it did today. And we open and it just kind of goes waffle in a very tight range, not easy trading. There were some trades. I did have a slightly profitable day, nothing to write home about, to be honest with you, because it was too easy to be up a nice amount and then suddenly, boom, it's down a nice amount. And I'm still thinking, you know what, they're going to come in, they're going to buy it, blah, blah, blah. And then they take it down further. And so you're not down just a little, you're down a lot. And then you make it back, et cetera. So it was back and forth, and then ending up in the green because I just stopped. I just said, you know what, I wanted to end up in the plus column, and I'm just going to do that. So I'm hoping we don't have that same type of a day tomorrow. But we have Amazon after the close. And that's as far as I get in terms of earnings. I don't think anybody else is really coming out. I don't see any signs. I mean, we have NVIDIA in August, and Microsoft, the rest of them are done. So now it's up to the market. Now it's up to what traders want to do. And so we'll go with what we get, of course. And tomorrow, I'm looking for continued downside. And the next update will be tomorrow.